Hello there, guys, and welcome to episode 12 of Constructing Hinge, the Minecraft City. I have a really special episode for you today, mainly because I was a bit gutted with last episode. I went and watched it back after uploading it, and it was such a naff episode, really, if I'm being completely honest. In that, I built just that bridge over to the left that you can see on your screen, like every now and then. That we just built the bridge, and also mainly due to the fact that it was live commentary. My commentary was just naff. There was a lot of pauses and silent moments, and then it wasn't very fun. So because of the state of the last episode, I decided that I'm going to come in this episode and I'm going to do something big, to make up for the fact that we built a bridge last episode, and the commentary and everything. Just it wasn't a good episode, basically. So to make up for that, I decided it's a new house. We're going to build a new house, but not only are we going to build a new house, I'm going to step way out of my comfort zone and go just wild with this sort of a concept home. Now this house is inspired by a real life building. God, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but if I can think of the name of it, I'll oh god, now I'm really trying to remember the name. I can't remember the name of it, honestly. But there's a real building that it's not exactly like this, but it has the same sort of cut off edge here, and it hangs over a bit of a hill. So it's very loosely inspired off a building, but most of it is obviously my own. And also the real building isn't actually a house. I'm pretty sure it's like a gallery or something like that. But yeah, it's very out there, very different, very it's a concept house clearly, and I'm really happy actually with how it turns out in the end. And I don't think anyone has ever built something like this before in Minecraft, so that's why I'm most excited about it. Also, the oh my god, get my words out. The location of the build is so nice. This whole mountainy area over here, I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. It's very mountainy. I was never thinking of putting a house here. I wasn't even thinking of running roads through here. I was just thinking of put some trees there, cover it up with some foliage and call it a day. But then when I kind of decided, I'm going to try and give this build like a go in Minecraft, try and replicate this build in Minecraft that I was on about, like the art gallery. I noticed this location actually would be amazing because it hangs off the hill, like so. The space between the road, it's got the nice river coming down below it that you can see there, and then on top of the hill, past this cliff edge here, there's plenty of space, not only for the rest of the actual house on flat ground, but also for a back garden all on that back part of the mountain there to the right that you can see. So it was prime real estate that I was looking at thinking, god, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, that actually worked out to be the best possible location that I could have been gifted when trying to build this house. So as you can see, that's one of the little sort of cut off parts sort of done. Then rather than making the whole thing cut off like so, like the whole edge cut off, which I think the real life building is fully cut off, I decided to put like a little 3x4 window in the middle, so that there's kind of like these cut off sections in either side, but then it pushes right back with this 3x4 window. So as you can see, just finishing up the second one, and you'll get an idea of what I'm actually on about. As you can see, once I sort of mess around here, then it's like that. So that's like the edge of the build, and it looks super cool. Then the whole roof is just super flat, and we do add some detail to the top of the roof so that it doesn't look quite just a big flat slab of stone. But however, because of the fact that of this house's nature, the fact that it's like this concept home, oh my god, I can't speak today. Because of the fact that it is this like concept house, the top, I want it to be flat. I want it to be this pretty much just slab of rock almost. Obviously it isn't, but it because of these jagged edges and because it's just slapped on top of this mountain, hanging off the edge, and it just kind of looks like it's just been like thrown there. I want it to just look like a big slab of like slate or like rock. So the roof I do want to be flat, so that it gives that impression off. Then working on the other side, and the other side is kind of the opposite to the front side that you'll see from the road, in that the cut off is going back like into the house rather than pushing away out of the house. And I keep the same 3x4 window in the middle, mainly because if this design was put across the whole back of it, it would look a bit boring and very like chunky almost at the back. So that little 3x4 window breaks it up, but also the viewpoints from inside the house. Think about how amazing it would be to almost like have a bedroom that the bed is facing towards that 3x4 window, like pointing out of the house towards the window, and then on either side of the window you can see these big slabs of like cut off concrete, and then this lovely view going out to this river and stuff here. Like, having those windows is going to be such a nice view inside if you have like a bed pointing out towards the windows. Like, just the viewpoint of seeing those pointed jagged edges like on either side, it should be really, really nice. So I am looking forward to getting to the interior of this one, especially because I do actually lay the floor and stuff in this episode towards the end, and it's going to be such a super nice like ultra modern like open floor plan build inside of here. So there we go, there's one of them done, and I'm just going to look for the shape. As you can see, it's quite a big build. I don't think it beats the Sandstone Manor for land coverage, like not including gardens and stuff, but just the house. Pretty sure the Sandstone Manor would still be bigger, and also bear in mind that this house will only be one story or one floor. Actually, it might not be though. We'll probably tunnel down into the hill actually for like a basement. But yeah, it is still a very big house, but I don't think it quite beats the Sandstone Manor. But it fits in with the size, of like the houses in this area, which I really like. Then here, like I said before, putting in that 3x4 window in the middle, and then just detailing the sides of these things so they look still jaggedy and stuff like they're supposed to, rather than just like these nice flush walls on the side of these cut off pieces of rock. It wouldn't be just like this nice flush perfect stone. Obviously it's a house, it's not actually been just cut out of a piece of slab, but we're trying our best to get that across that it has been. And there's that end. Now I wanted it, again, because it's this concept house idea, because it's like this new one of a kind thing, I didn't want to just stick like ordinary little windows going across and whatnot. I pretty much wanted it, again, like I was saying before, with the whole making it look like a piece of slab that's just been cut out of the earth. I wanted it to just look super plain. So I end up settling for a window design where basically there's a little bit of detail to it. So there's like these two little sections on either side that stick out a little bit, so that there is some detail to the window. So it doesn't just look like one massive flat window, but in reality it is just one super long massive flat window. And you'll notice as well that I pretty much like take it to sort of the halfway point and then stop the window. I take it a couple more blocks here, I think about 5 more blocks. I think it's 15 across in total, this main bit, plus the 2 little windows on the side. But yeah, I pretty much take it right to sort of the middle, and then I stop it, and then this whole part here is super blank, again fitting into the cutout like of slab, but also because on that left side, as you were building now, is going to be sort of the entrance into the house. Now the entrance to this house really confused me, because obviously this whole top part is just floating above a hill, like this isn't ground level, you can't just walk into this. So I was like, well, how am I going to do it? I need obviously like a staircase and stuff, but how am I going to get a bit of a building that fits this massive slab down onto the ground? And basically I came up with just make a smaller little sort of attached slab like so, which will then just house like a entry foyer and staircase that goes up to the main level of that whole massive proper house. Like this bit, obviously it's still the house, and this bit will sort of be like your main, when you walk in, you know, hang up your coats, you know, your main entrance foyer to the house. But that, like, on this bit, the only room on this ground level will be that entrance foyer. Then you'll hit some stairs straight away, and the rest of the house, in fact the whole of the house, is all in this big, you know, big giant concrete slab, all, you know, above ground level, which I really like the concept of. Again, it's such a wacky house. I love it. I might be, no, I don't want to say it's one of the best houses I've ever made, mainly because it's not that hard, is it? It's just, you know, some slab. But I think the idea, it's the best idea I've ever had. Again, I suppose I basically just copied a arts museum and made it a house, but no, there's no way you'll find another house that looks like this on Minecraft. I challenge someone to send me a link, or, you know, of a picture or a video or anything that resemble this house. So then, again, following the same design, where it cuts into the building rather than like jags out of the building, on this little smaller part. And when you zoom out, like stand away and look back on this build, this smaller part adds so much to it. It's such a nice, I wasn't initially going to do this, I was just going to, you know, have the big slab in the middle, and basically the whole house would just be this big rectangle slab. That was it. But when I realised, you know, how am I actually going to get people into the building, that's when I was like, well, okay, I'm going to build this, you know, this little side slab, this side slab, I don't know, there's no real name for it, but yeah, onto the side of the build, and have it like tunnel, have like it almost kind of is like a walking out into a football pitch, like this big tunnel like that there, as you can see, and then it'll just go into some stairs. So adding just some windows on the front, so, you know, it isn't just this massive wide tunnel. And then here, adding the details onto the roof that I was talking about before. First things first, just a super nice modern little chimney, and I'm hoping on the interior to actually hook that up to a real fireplace inside the build, so it isn't just like some pointless decorative chimney. I do actually want to try and hook that up at some point, but whether I actually do, I don't know, because obviously we haven't got to the interior, and I don't actually I just kind of place that chimney randomly. I might move it to suit the interior more, but I don't know what's actually under that chimney. I have no idea if there's even a room or like space or anything, you know. Then the next thing was to get in some solar panels. I just put 3 solar panels on, and I basically put everything all over to this right side. You know, on this right side it's like you've got your chimney, you've got your solar panels, and then the rest of it is just a nice, you know, smooth stone slab, just sheet of, you know, rock going the whole way across. Nothing is disturbing like the left side of the build. And sort of, I suppose it's the theme for the whole build really, is that the more sort of away from the road you get, the more peaceful and like to yourself it is, you know. Like this whole front section, you've got like the solar panels on the front, you've got this window on the front, but towards the left there's kind of nothing over there. You are like alone in your little house. Just like, I like that about this house as well. So then hooking up the solar panels and stuff to these boxes, and that's all we put on the roof. Then on the back here, I put the same sort of window as the front, but I, you know, stagger it so that instead of it being over on the left again, it's more over on the right this time. And this window here, I will actually probably, like in a later episode or whenever we work on this house next, turn that big massive middle part into sort of like foldable doors, so like they can fold out onto the back garden, because I eventually, as you can see now, it looks like it's all just floating, but I terraform all around it so that it becomes that the garden is at this level here. So, you know, this window here can open out to be like foldable glass doors that lead out onto the garden that I make later on. So adding in the final part of the window like so, and then just filling in again the whole blank slab. Then I think we cut now to working on the inside, just laying down the floor, so fully putting the stone underneath so that you can't see any like floating bits, then putting the wood underneath, and then digging into the sort of tunnel I made, and figuring out how I get the tunnel that I made up into the building. And the way that this turned out, I was just like completely freestyling it. Obviously, like, I only had pictures of the exterior of like that modern gallery that I was roughly using as inspiration, so how they actually got into the building and blah blah blah, I have no idea. So with it, basically I was just freestyling it, and I mine away like a big chunk, you can see, and I just kind of I realised that basically it's perfectly sized for like two 3x3 across like staircases on either side, and then like a nice little sort of pillar divider in the middle. So I just use the same wood as the floor upstairs. Again, this could change, but I think this is the right kind of floor for this build, a nice modern darker wood. And as you can see, basically I just do these 3 across staircases, and then just bring the stone, like this middle column and the 2 end columns, out to meet the staircases. And then inside, this is one of my favourite little parts of the staircase, is that inside basically those columns all run up, one above the staircases, and so it just fits into this like modern, it's like a concept home, like that. You would never see stairs like that on any build unless it was some out there outlandish modern like concept build, which this is. So it's all just feeling, I wanted it to feel very cold almost, it's all made out of stone. As you can see, I made the main foyer floor stone rather than wood, because I want it to feel cold when you're looking at it from the outside. Like when you're looking at it, it's almost like I wouldn't want to live there. It looks like just this cold stone slab. But then once you walk up those stairs, once you get past that main foyer and you walk up those stairs, it's this warm, beautiful house. And this is basically the full exterior done. Other than, like I said, getting some door, or like making those windows so that they're like foldable door windows or whatever. So you can lead out onto this section of the grass where I terraformed it here, and as you can see I terraformed all the way around, so none of the build is now floating. There's like mounted underneath, and yeah, that is the full exterior of the house. So the only thing left to do on this house is interior. So we got a full exterior done in one episode, and I suppose that shows how easy it was to make. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.